Niantic, it's instances like these that wind you up on the trending page of Twitter, and not for good reason. How long are you going to keep up with this? The radio silence, the disrespect and ignorance, as well as incompetence towards the remainder of your good, loyal player base that, simply put, just wants some answers in response to your recent actions, i.e. bad updates. The community keeps on trying to reach out to you, trying to talk to you, trying to establish a line of communication, yet you have failed. And as more time goes on, the worse all of this looks. And this right here just right straight infuriates me. It pisses me off. Now, for those of you guys that want to learn something about me, I am one stubborn SOB. I am like a pit bull. When I have my jaws on something, I ain't gonna let go. And in this case here, I'm not gonna let go until you start treating your community better than this bullshit here. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take a look at some of what the community has to say. So we have Pokedaxi tweeting out, "It has officially been 11 business days since #HearUsNiantic. Last time it took Niantic only 7 business days to let us know they are working on a response for September 1st. They are ignoring us and it hurts." And you see, that right there is just one of the many things that is representative of the type of impact that you are having on your community. Your ignorance, the fact that you continue constantly to ignore your player base, to ignore your community, that is really hurtful. It's also really interesting that last time it took Niantic less time to respond to the community than what we have here right now, and this is something that blew up even more than the last time there was a #HearUsNiantic, and it seems like that despite all of that, Niantic still carries on as if nothing is happening. I also want to bring this up from Fleecekin. In personal, your opinion, what should Niantic do in terms of communication and change that would make the current circumstances now and moving forward significantly better? Let's make this a thread of constructive feedback. Well, for one, you mentioned communication. Niantic ain't got that. It would be nice if we could have ourselves communication from Niantic, because that would be significantly better than what we got going on here. But let's actually take a look at some of the responses here from other members of the community pertaining to what Fleece King had asked. We have Mike here saying they could actually respond to the issues and problems. That's all really. Not asking for lower costs, global trading and all. Just please be human and actually reply to the concerns we have. And it's really honestly sad that all we're asking for is communication, and Niantic don't even have the balls to do that. Here's another good point made by Baby Doll Becca. They haven't done anything that they've said they would, except remote raid pass nerf. Actions speak louder than words, honestly. Ain't that the truth? You damn right about that. Bugs need to be fixed. GBL needs love. Elite raids have been a flop. Yeah, you could say that again. They have been a massive, abject failure. We want to connect with our global friends. Our outrage is because of compounding issues. So it isn't just the issues with the remote raid pass nerf. It is a bunch of issues that have still yet to have proper answers for. It just so happens that this current issue is what broke the dam. It's what broke the back, okay? The straw that broke the camel's back, if you will. Chasing Polaris Pogo says, communication. Acknowledge relatively small but devoted remote/rural player base. Discuss ongoing problems and give timelines to completion. Change, replace Ed Wu, aka the guy that made the comparison to a Singaporean grandma when it comes to describing your median Pokemon GO player. Like, I still don't understand that reference right there. Like, what in the absolute type of brain rot shit was that? Revert remote rating changes. Yes, please. create brand new content, regression tests, no new bugs for old content. VBallMama62 Stacy C says, as a professional in the UI/UX product management space, no joke, that is my actual job, when you stop actively reaching out to users and listening to their thoughts, you fail. It can't hurt to open a forum to the average player. If you have a product, know and love your users. Amen to that. We have Leo saying, stop making other games and focus on the main one that needs improvement. It's kind of interesting how Leo actually makes that remark right there, because get this, Niantic has actually decided to dip their toes into making yet another game, and it revolves around Monster Hunter. Now, I understand that some people might actually be genuinely hyped for this game, and I say, hey, go for it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you do you, man, but make sure you are very careful with how you spend your money in that game, because number one, inflation is an absolute bitch, and number two, given how Niantic has an undeniable history of scamming their audience, I would be very leery about investing in that game other than being a casual player of that game. And it just shows as well that Niantic is being spread out to the point of them being spread way too thin. And with that being said right there, that probably explains as to why there have been so many issues as of late with recent events in Pokemon Go. And that right there falls back on the shoulders of one individual, that being John Hanke, because even at Niantic, not everyone can agree with each other as to how to implement things and to take the next step. It's an absolute mess over there. So John Hanke, you should really focus on keeping things simple. Make it so that you are putting a lot of focus and resources into Pokemon Go, seeing how that is currently your most popular game. And by the way, one of the only things you haven't managed to kill yet, but you're very much on your way. And that way, you'll have more manpower, more resources being focused into that one spot, being Pokemon Go. And with that being said, there will be more care, attention, and love being put into Pokemon Go from the developers' side, because they're not going to be spread too thin and overworked as much. And therefore, that will cause a chain reaction of positivity, as more of your players are actually going to, by chance, be happy with the game, rather than doing what you have been doing recently, John, and prioritizing profits and data over your own players that made you bank in the first place. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on to the note of Monster Hunter, there's actually something really interesting that Flare Blaze points out here. Let's see what we have. This is interesting. IGN's article talking about Monster Hunter now includes this gameplay feature. Seems a bit weird how you can play at home or when the time is right for you, but Niantic wants Go players to go in person for raids. And attached to the tweet showcases the following. Furthermore, Palicos will hunt monsters even when you aren't playing the game, and will tag them with paintballs so you can challenge them when you are home, at work, etc. Alongside this being a very useful feature for not missing monsters, it will also give friends and family more chances to fight together when the time is right. Take from that what you will, but that sounds very contradictory to Pokemon Go versus how this Monster Hunter game is being treated. So Niantic has absolutely no problem shoving their mission down our throats regarding getting outside and raiding in person and all that other fucking jazz, but yet they take an approach to Monster Hunter that kind of goes against their mission in the first place. Funny how that works. Now, I'm actually really interested to see how the community responds to Niantic making a tweet about their Monster Hunter game. So we can see it has 466 likes with 61 quote retweets and 91 retweets. We have Cowboy Hat Caterpie Please coming through with an accurate and funny as hell meme. Looks like we're gonna need another door, and what we got going on here is, yeah, that is basically Niantic's track record when it comes to their attempts and treatments for past products of theirs, and Pokemon Go is the next door that's being knocked at from the Grim Reaper, and I think that's how Pokemon Go is going to be if they don't change ASAP. We have a quote tweeted response from Zionic who says, and I quote, "Y'all are stretching yourself too thin, ain't that the truth?" We had actually talked about that earlier, funnily enough. How do I know? It shows from your Pokemon Go product. Lack of consistent updates for GBL and consistent game glitches for new events. Hashtag hear us Niantic. We have Den0 tweeting out something very, very interesting. All this would at least be understandable if Niantic actually benefits from this strategy, but they don't do it at all. They buried HPWU, Catan, and Transformers already. Ingress is still for a small, trusty fanbase. NBA is a flop. Pokemon Go's revenue is Niantic's revenue overall, and we have ourselves a graphic that showcases exactly that. First place for Pokemon Go, downloads last month, 1 million, revenue last month, $23 million, and you compare it to everything below it. Yeah, that is a big time yikes for all of their other products. So if it isn't for Pokemon Go, Niantic would have likely sank down to the bottom of the ocean. It's a sad thing to say, but it would most likely be true if that right there was the case, if Pokemon Go was not a thing for Niantic. Now this is something that actually piques my interest and curiosity. We have Wallower tweeting out, "I don't know which one of the following shocks me more. 1. Niantic keeps making games despite not even being able to have a single one of them operate at the minimum acceptable level. 2. Companies keep letting them get their IPs after seeing failure after failure besides Pokemon Go." And you know something? I would like to know the answers to those two things right there. And one more tweet for the road, ladies and gentlemen. What a great way to actually end this video. We have Cowboy Hat Caterpie Please saying, "If the cash cow goes down, the whole farm goes down. If the cash cow flourishes, the whole farm flourishes." So simple, Niantic. How they can't grasp this simple little concept should honestly be a huge concerning indicator for those watching. Alright, so I think that's enough of that for one video, but man oh man alive, do things keep on getting more and more interesting as time goes on. And honestly, I don't even know when it's going to stop. It's actually starting to drive me insane how every single time I even look around, let alone blink, I end up having to cover something else that dumbass Niantic ended up doing or not doing, and it's just absolutely insane. But you know what? I'm gonna keep this up until we get change for all of the players that just want some damn answers. Is it really that hard, Niantic? Is it really, really that hard to give your community the proper respect and communication that they deserve? I'll answer that for you. No, it's not hard. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you for your time as well in viewing this video. Have yourself a damn good one, you beautiful people. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, don't be like Niantic, and I'll see you next time.